This poor car has seen the pollen here is serious. Like, I know it's got that bad, but it's the whole car is basically yellow at this point. It needs another wash, and then not be sitting outside anymore because, like, good grief. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to today's video. Today we're continuing with the Tdi Wagon here. So we had swapped the red tails on the car and also the smoke side markers here, kind of giving the car a just overall darker look. Now the last thing to do is our headlights here. So we could buy headlights that are smoked housing, but that's expensive. We don't have time to do it right now. So what we're gonna do today is what's called the Joey mod. So basically taking all of this chrome and painting it black. So how this works is fairly easy to do. We're gonna take the headlight out of the car. We're gonna split the lens here off of the housing. We're gonna paint this inner shroud right here and also all of this chrome pieces back here and then reassemble it. It's very straightforward, pretty easy to do. We'll walk through each step, and then by the time this is done, we'll have nice smoked housing versus the chrome housing. Now, before we can actually remove these headlights, we must remove the bumper to access the two other screws at the bottom down here. So step one, we remove the grill, which I've already started. There's three little push-in tabs, one in the center here, two, and number three right there. And there's a spot right here that pops in, that little tab piece, and then this one over here, and then use a flathead like so. There's one little push pin tab right here. You kind of push it down and pull it forward. And then the last thing is the little clamp that holds your hood release pin to this. Slide this metal tab up, put a flathead in here. I'm gonna split, so can you pull it? What? I'm gonna go like this and split it, and then can you pull like this and pry both sides up and off, and then you can pull forward, and boom, rolls off. Now we have 1, 2, 3, and I believe there is 3 on the bottom as well, along with the screws on the side, and then the entire bumper will pull forward. Well, she starts on the ones on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and do the ones at the bottom. You must remove your side grills here. There's 2 little tabs right there and right there. Press down and pull forward, and it'll show you the or there, and then same on their side. Pull your grill out, and then right in here is the other T30 screw. We had our first casualty. Straight snapped. Oh well. So now we remove the 4 T20 screws from this side on the inner fender line hooked into the bumper. We've taken off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T30 screws, and then another 4 T20 on this side. The bumper should be able to pull right off now. If you have an American spec Mark IV Golf or Jetta, you will have a side marker light here. The European ones obviously don't. Disconnect that as well, but we should be ready to pull the entire thing off. Oh, okay. Can you pull it off? There she goes. Make sure you don't forget, like I did, this little sensor right here. Once that's off, the bumper is now off and out of the way. We can access these 2 bottom screws and finally get our headlight out. So once you removed your 4 screws from your headlight, you must also disconnect the one plug going to it. Now I think the American ones might be a little bit different, but on the Mark IVs and European spec ones, the tab to undo this is actually on the bottom side. So it's a little bit easier if you pull the headlight out a little bit, actually take off this entire, like this over here, unpull this entire little housing here, rotate it upside down so you can actually get to where the actual pin is to undo it. It makes it a little bit easier. So now these are actually out of the car. We can go ahead and get them heated up, split the glue through here, and actually get the lens off of the housing. So there's basically 2 ways to do this now. You can either put the headlight in the oven at about 250 degrees for about, I'll say 8 to 10 minutes or so we can heat up all this glue and separate the glass from the housing. But if you can't put it in the oven, thankfully we have our own house, you can also use a heat gun and make a little box enclosure and also use that as like a simulated oven. I guess you could also just use a heat gun and just go around the sides like this, but we're gonna do 1 in the oven and then 1 in the homemade little box. All right, boys, we have our box oven all set up. Headlight to the far side, heat gun coming down there, a little vent here at the top. Once we go ahead, we'll turn it on, close it up, let it sit for 8 to 10 minutes, and we should be able to pull it apart. Also, shout out to the YouTuber I got this from. His name is Millen Monstrosity. Very, very nice, detailed video on how to do the Joey mod. So, shout out to him for this cool idea. Box is closed up. Gonna put our heat gun on, and now we wait. Let's see how the wife's doing with her oven method. Ooh, how's it going in here? What's you baking?
Performance.
Ooh, just a nice headlight. First one is out. Going apart nicely. Hey. So most part you should be able to just go ahead and grab and pull it apart. You may need to use a flathead to kind of pry it a little bit, but it should be fairly easy. If it's still kind of stuck too much, we can put it back in the oven for a little while longer to heat up more. 3, 2, 1, bam. All right, that's been 10 minutes. Let's see what we got. Let's turn this off. Open up our box here. Took a lot longer than expected, but got the first one split here. This stuff they use here, I don't know, it just seems like so much stickier. I had to like keep heating the heat gun and then keep cutting it slowly, but it took a while, but now it's off. So we're gonna do now, we're gonna tape up all this outer section here because we don't want to get any paint inside where the sealant goes. We're gonna go ahead and pull all of the bulbs, this one and that one out of here. We're gonna tape up this section, and this light here. Then we can go ahead and sand it down and spray all of the chrome pieces that you see here. Obviously not inside of here or inside of here, but all of these pieces here, there, these side pieces, all of this, all that be chrome. This chrome housing that goes around this, the shroud, will also get sprayed in black as well. We'll sand that down, and then nothing with this. You want to make sure you lay it down with the backside down. You don't want to scratch this at all, and then we'll make sure we clean the inside before it goes on. And then we have one more to do. Like this stuff, I don't know, it just seemed like it was like stuck in there so much. I've never fought a headlight so much in my life. It took forever, but first one's done. All right, well, this one has been sanded and taped up. This one is all ready to go. This one has been about 45 minutes and we're still trying to pry it apart. For some reason, like the silicone used in this one is different than that one, where that one, the silicone kind of melted and came apart pretty easily. This one is just, I don't know, being a pain. So keep working on that one, but this one's about to get its first layer of paint. I'm actually gonna be using trusty trim paint because this stuff's very good at being outdoors, UV protected, all kind of stuff. And it's already a matte color, so we're gonna be using the trim paint and see how it does for the headlights here. All right, so I switched to Casey here. So someone messaged her on her phone and they said if these are Velo headlights, which they are, these aren't Hello ones, these are Velo. They said that if, or Valio, whatever you call it, they actually use windshield sealant for these headlights, which is why it's such a pain. That one wasn't too bad. That one kind of melted and came off, but this one, it's like flaking and it's just like a giant pain. I almost got it off here, but they said if they're this brand, you're supposed to, well, the best way is to smash your glass, get it off, and then get a new piece of glass. Well, obviously we don't have a new piece of glass, so I'm gonna continue slowly but surely until it comes off. But yeah, if you have this brand of headlight, just know it's gonna suck because this has been no fun. That one wasn't too bad, but this one has sucked. So we're almost there at this point, but we can't smash it. I don't have a new glass for it, so almost there. Finally, look at this stuff. It's like brittle and like such a pain. This stuff sucked. Like it actually sucked, but it's finally off. So she's gonna go ahead and clean off the lens, and then I can go ahead and start sanding, taping this one up. And this one is already got its first layer down and is looking pretty good. Wow, that sucked. First one is completely done. Looks really, really good. I'm gonna use this box to now double as a drying oven real quick while I start on the next one. Final layers went down on this one. Let it sit for a second. We'll check on the one in our box over here. At this point, this one should be nice and dry. Tape off here. This box is actually super handy for drying stuff. All right, let's see what we got there. Woo! Look at that. Nice and dry, good to go. There's one piece. And then we'll pull our headlight here. Bam! Look at that. Came out really, really good. So now, pull off our tape. We'll go ahead and reassemble the entire thing and back in the car. I actually noticed on this one, this is the driver's side headlight here. This one's actually made by TYC, where that one was made by Valio. This one is much better. They actually use a normal like black silicone to hold it together, where that one uses apparently windshield sealant, which is ridiculous and doesn't want to come off. So this one was much easier to pull apart, but we got it done. So now we need to do, pull this tape off inside this little tray section right here where the lens actually sits, clean it back out. We'll put some fresh silicone in there. The lenses here have already been cleaned up, as you can see. And we go ahead and smush it back together. And then we are just about done. What I also realized with these headlights, these ones do not require the little silver clamps that go like 1, 2, 3, and 4 to kind of pinch the lens to the housing. These ones rely solely on whatever silicone you use to hold it together. So I'm gonna probably do, once we actually push it together, we're gonna heat up a little bit and like sink it all the way in. I'm gonna lay it like lens down, like some sort of like fabric, and then kind of like push on the backside. That way it can actually seal all the way in because there's no like secondary clamp to actually hold it together. We will be using Loctite clear silicone, the waterproof kind here. This is what I've used to seal my wheels, my headlights on my car, the headlights on her car. I've never had an issue, so this is my favorite stuff to use. At this point, both headlights, passenger and driver's side, are all done drying. I went ahead and brought everything inside. It's a bit warmer in here. So what we're gonna do next is take our silicone, do a nice little layer through this channel all the way around. Then we'll put the shroud here, and there's 4 little spots. There's this one, that one and that one. These tabs match up and pop in. And then the last one, let's put the glass. All right, we have our housing in now. We have our layer of silicone going around the entire thing. Last thing to do, take our lens and simply set it down in there and press it all the way together. All right, last step. Carefully line it up. And we press it down. We'll have to use the heat gun a little bit to mold some of this side piecing back up. But for the most part, that, bam, is it. No more chrome, all nice and blacked out. All right, we officially have 2 fully Joey modded Mark IV headlights. The nice smoke housing, came out really good. I quite like that look a lot. Now just letting the silicone dry. Hopefully still have enough light to put these on. But they came out pretty good. All right, good morning. It's currently the next day. I decided to let these sit and dry completely overnight due to the fact that there's no like secondary clips to hold the lens on. I just wanted to make sure the silicone was fully dry. The lens couldn't go anywhere because like there's no secondary thing holding these ones on. So I just want to make sure they're good to go. But now, fully dry, ready to go. The sun is out and shining. Time to put these back in. Now, reinstallation is quite simple. Just reverse all your steps you did to pull the headlights out. But these things, I'm excited. They're like sick. Dang, our blacked out headlights or our Joey mod is officially done. Try to ignore how filthy the car is itself, but the headlights came out really nice. Like, I actually quite like that a lot. Normally, I'm not a fan of like just blacked out anything, but for some reason on this particular wagon, it works really, really well. And like the whole entire blacked out car looks good. Looks really, really good. I'm a fan. And this was super easy to do. Aside from this headlight here, the Valio one that took so long to pull apart, aside from that one, this was a super easy, straightforward job, and it actually cost us nothing. I already had silicone, already had black paint. This was a completely free job, and it looks really, really good, I think. Definitely ties in with the rest of the black look on the car. I'm gonna pull the wagon over here for just a second. We can get a full walk around and see the entire car. Those headlights came out really, really good. Really good. Still gotta address the fenders, which hopefully get new ones soon, but if not, try and paint that a little bit or Bondo it maybe. And then same for the hatcher. I'm not a rust repair expert. I'll look into that, but this needs to get fixed. But other than that, the car's coming together quite nicely. That'll be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about the Joey mod on the Mark IV headlights. I think they look really, really good. For some reason, just the black on this car just seems to work really well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.